Hello everyone, it's Lara Waldman here, the Abundance Activator, and I want to speak to you about what to do when you have a money freak out. So perhaps you've run out of money, perhaps you've spent too much money, or maybe you've got an unexpected bill that you have to pay that you hadn't prepared for, or maybe something's come up out of the blue that you weren't ready for that requires money. Our immediate response could be to go into panic, to go into fear, that can lead your mind and emotions going through the tumble dryer. And this is a completely normal response, but I want to teach you what you can do to help you actually manifest, attract, bring in the money that you require. And obviously this is kind of an emergency situation, but I'd like you to apply the same tools and principles to keep generating a consistent flow of money into your life. So we don't also have to wait till you get to that panic or emergency situation with money. You've got a continual flow of money coming into your life. So the first key that's actually challenging in the moment is to clear the fear, to clear the emotional response. Because what happens when you go into that panic, your mind kind of clamps down. It's like you close the doors on what is truly possible in this situation. When we have an emotional response or a fear, or you really buy into this perceived reality that there isn't enough or you don't have the money, you shut walls down to opportunities. It's like you put up energetic walls. I call them your money blocks. They're your money barriers. We want to bring those down right away so that you can open up to receive the possibilities for this situation. So the step one is to just take a notice of what's going on for you emotionally. Okay, so the situation's happened and I'm feeling panic or fear about, or anxiety about the situation, let's say, or whatever the emotional response is for you. Acknowledge the emotion. Step two is to release the emotion. We want to let it go, because this emotion or this response is actually creating these money blocks, these energetic walls. So you want to release the emotion, let it go. Okay, so one of the ways to do that is to acknowledge the emotion and then give it permission to release and let go from your body. There are actually lots of tools and techniques out there. There's emotional freedom technique. I'm quite a fan of just breathing, meditating, and being with the feeling, and your body will naturally release it over time. Just observing it, watching it, it will drop away. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, depending on the trigger. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Sometimes when I've had a big emotional response, it can be 45 minutes. But if you just sit and breathe and be with your emotional response, it will naturally calm down. But you just need to not feed the fire, so to speak. This is just an emotion. This is the response. And I'm just going to sit here until it calms right down. Breathing is so powerful for that. So, step one, observe that and acknowledge the emotional reaction. Step two, release the emotional reaction response. And then step three is to get clear on what you're asking for. So again, the mind wants to go, oh, there's not enough money. Oh my God, panic, what do we do? And your mind, your ego will buy into this situation as it appears real, that there isn't that money available. What you want to do is go into a creative, generative energy where you're actually calling in what you need, what you want. So what is it that you need? What is it that you're asking for? What does this situation require? So if it's a bill, that's maybe it's $1,000. So you're calling in $1,000 or whatever it is in your situation. It takes a little bit of mental discipline to get to this point, because we need to clear the fear or the perceived reality that there isn't that money in order to go into welcoming what it is you're asking for into your life. So this is where you become a money attractor. This is how you manifest what you want. Then you need to get clear on what you're asking for. So what are you asking for? What do you require? What do you need? So get clear on what that is specifically. If you're not in an emergency situation, how much money would you love to be bringing into your life? It could be on a monthly basis or an annual basis. What would be a wonderful amount of money that would create ease around money for you? What would that be? So maybe it could be that you have a consistent flow of a certain amount of money. So that's a more generative request rather than kind of a firefighting response, so to speak. So get clear on what you're asking for and you call it in. So you're literally putting your order into the universe. So if you're going into a restaurant, you're putting your order in for what you want what food you want to eat. It's the same thing with the money that you're asking for. What's your order? What you're asking for? This is what I'm asking for. And when you go into a restaurant, do you sit there worrying and panicking about whether the food's going to arrive or not? No, for the most part, you can relax and trust it's going to come at some point. And if it doesn't, you can check in with the waiter. So you put in your request. You put in your order. It's like a demand. You get super clear. You're not going to negotiation. You're not questioning. You're not shrinking your energy. You're like, this is what I'm asking for. Boom. This is what it is. Here it is. I'm asking for this, but I'm actually demanding it. I'm saying, this is coming to me now. It's sort of a non-negotiable. And that's one of the keys with manifestation. You have to get 100% behind what it is that you're asking for. You don't want to be shrinking your energy. You're kind of begging or pleading. No, you're in the driver's seat of your life. You are deciding what you want, and this is what you're asking for. So there is a bit of a demanding energy, but not from, kind of like a spoiled brat energy. It's just, no, this is what I'm asking for. More of the energy of the king or the queen. It's like it's a demand, but from, just because you're worth it. Because you deserve it. So you put your order in. Now, the next step is to open up to receive it. So your money blocks will actually block you from welcoming what it is you're asking for into your life. So hopefully at this point we've released your money blocks. Now we want to receive in what it is you're asking for. One of the most simple and effective ways that I like to do this is to breathe, to inhale, consciously inhale. You're inhaling, breathing in whatever it is you're asking for, that amount of money. It's a practice of receiving it. You're welcoming it in. You're saying yes to it. And equally with the exhale, you can release your money blocks with the exhale. So anywhere you're holding back, anywhere you're creating tension, anywhere you're unconsciously blocking yourself from receiving what you want, you let it go with the exhale. Breathing in what you're asking for with the inhale. Opening up to receive it, and releasing anywhere you're holding on your money blocks with the exhale, letting them go. You're really just getting out of your own way. You're welcoming it in. So many people are terrible at receiving. I know I was the world's worst receiver. I've had to practice receiving. And it really comes down to feeling good enough, worthy enough, deserving, that you are allowed to have this. You're allowed to be happy, healthy, wealthy, successful. So we're breathing that in. It's a practice. We're breathing it in. Now, when you're in that receptive place, when you're relaxed, you've released your money blocks, when you're opening up to receive, and you're really genuinely saying, yeah, I am willing to receive this from wherever it needs to come. Doors open. Possibilities open. You've suddenly entered the infinite possibilities of the universe. Our poor mind can only perceive or understand that which it already knows. But there are many, many possibilities available for you that your mind doesn't even know about. So you're opening up the doors to all the possibilities that you don't even consciously know about yet, and welcoming them in. So these possibilities can come to you from a thought, an idea, something, oh, I know, I could call that person. So it's what I call divine inspiration, where you suddenly get an idea. The other way they can come is by a divine meeting, where suddenly you meet someone that might have the next step to the answer of what you're asking for. I call them universal breadcrumbs, where we get given the next step and the next step and the next step that's going to lead you towards what it is you're asking for. Things just pop in to your reality, sometimes like magic. But also, you will be getting your intuitive downloads, this intuitive awareness, these universal breadcrumbs, perhaps what the next best action step that you need to take to make that happen. So it could be to pick up a phone, call someone. It could be to send an email. It could be to go and create something. There's all sorts of things and possibilities that can come as the answer to your prayers. But we need to stay open and receptive. So we're opening up the doors of the infinite possibilities rather than shutting them down and closing them with your money blocks. So that is the key. So ultimately, we want to be in that space of openness, of receptivity all of the time, where you're in flow with the universe, where you're in flow with life. But most of us are going around, really shut down, really protected for all sorts of very understandable reasons, from past hurt, from past pain, from what your family's taught you, what society's taught you. So this is really about reprogramming yourself, retraining yourself into a whole new way of being. It's pretty awesome stuff, but it's not difficult. It's actually incredibly simple. It just requires your attention, your focus, and a bit of mental discipline that you're going to make that choice to let go of your blocks, to let go of where you're holding yourself back, and make the choice to open up, to receive, to step into that place of the unknown, that magic. And it requires your conscious attention, your conscious choice on a regular, consistent basis. So do this practice, yes, when you get hit with that sort of panic or fear, or there's a money emergency, but also use this practice each and every day. Each and every day, it is a practice. I make sure I'm doing this on a regular basis, if not daily basis, to stay in that open flow. And this is when life starts to feel truly magical, and why manifestation and money manifestation really does feel like magic. But it's actually quite practical. And once you understand how it works, it's pretty straightforward, but it's lots of fun because we don't always know exactly how things are going to show up. We don't know exactly when or where they're going to show up, but that trust that it will is the key. So there is an element of surrender, an element of trust, and an element of patience. Some things just take their sweet time, but hold that vision of what you're asking for. Sometimes you can magically manifest money in an instant, and it's pretty cool. Some things will require a little bit more time and attention. But if you show up to your money manifestation each and every day, things will show up for you, I promise. Patience, perseverance, trust, surrender. So go out and play with these steps. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to help you. Sending you lots of love, and may all your dreams, everything that you're asking for, come to you now. Lots of love.